6 behind me, which was pretty straightforward, apart from the fact it was freezing cold last night. I didn't get a lot of sleep and my stomach's giving me a bit of trouble, so I wasn't quite as active as I might have been otherwise. I've thrown away my maps and I've gone off in a completely different direction, so now I don't really know where I am. All I know is that I've got to go in a roughly southwest direction, which is roughly that way, and I've got 8 days of food to get me to somewhere where I can buy some more. And coming over the pass now has dumped me into this bitterly cold high altitude valley. No signs of any people. There's a few yak there behind me, you may be able to see. The fact that there's almost no dung on the grass implies to me that very few people come here, because there's usually a good correlation between the well-travelled valleys where they bring the herds. As you can see, very high, very bleak. That is roughly west. So for the time being, I'm just going to keep going west and see if I can spot a way through this watershed ridge of hills here. 10 o'clock in the morning after a very cold night. I've been walking for about an hour. I'm in this huge valley that, in all honesty, I never even noticed on Google Earth. It's starting to bend round to the south behind me, which leads me to suspect that it's one of the main drainage conduits out onto the grasslands that form the central basin. There's a big basin within the Tian Shan that I have cycled across in the past. Why there's no people here, I really don't know. I heard a couple of concussions yesterday and started developing paranoid fantasies about Chinese military testing zones, but there's too much accommodation here. I think I'm just too early in the season. And as you can see behind me, there is a big mixed herd of yak and ponies. Well, I've crested the range I was crossing, and this isn't exactly what I was expecting. As you can see, it's just a high altitude, high altitude, grassland and desert, snowy mountains on the horizons. Well, let's just say I'm glad I put 5 litres of water in the pack today, because I thought there was going to be a problem with water. And as you can see, I've been a bit slow to get going this morning. Yesterday turned into the longest day of the trip. Solid 8 hours walking, pretty much non-stop. And then last night was far and away the coldest. It was freezing. You can maybe see the remnants of last night's frost on the tent there. It's burning off in the sun now, but my god, it was cold. My instincts yesterday proved correct. It took a bit longer than I expected, but I just kept following a southwesterly compass bearing, and I dropped off the high, stony desert uplands and ended up in a landscape that it's bizarre. It's almost like the North Pennines. Little gritstone streams, grassland. But anyway, that's where I'm going, down there, because that's the road G218. Which you can't see it, but occasionally you can hear it when a truck goes roaring past. And I'm going to walk along it. There's some little shacks that sell food to passing travellers, passing truckers. So I'm going to go and score a few bags of noodles, and then that will give me enough to make it across the grasslands to Bayernbelak.